some common emotional triggers. If someone may ask, what is that? Well, as it's very simple. Someone rejecting you, someone leaving you, a sufuria falling in the kitchen, someone shaking you while you're asleep. All these things can trigger something. A song, for some of us, some songs remind us of someone, some song reminds us of some situation, a particular word, even say actually words can work as triggers. So a word is said and it reminds you of someone, or a song is sung, you heard it over the radio, or you hear someone singing, you hear someone humming it, and it reminds you of something, it triggers something in your emotions. This reminds me of another story. Well, I love stories, and this is said by a pastor. He was given a story while he was preaching, and he said in one of those one time he was in a shopping mall. I think he was about 57 or 58 by then, and so he hears this song. You know how malls have some malls have music playing, and when he heard this song, it took him back to when he was 5 years old. Remember, he's 57, 58 thereabout, and the song reminds him of when he was 5 years old, and he immediately begins to cry. This is a 57-year-old man remembering something that happened to him when he was 5 years old, and he begins to cry. And he goes on to say that what that song triggers in him was the emotion of being rejected, because at the age of 5, his parents, I think, left him with his uncle or auntie because they had to go somewhere. And as a young child, when he saw his parents driving off, he felt rejected. His parents were leaving him, his parents were abandoning him. So that is just to show you how strong emotions are. This is a 57-year-old man remembering what happened to him when he was 5 years old, and the exact same feelings or emotion that emotional state he was at when he was 5 years old is the same way he's feeling 57 years, about that would be about 52 years later, and the emotion is still as strong. This is just to tell you how strong and how important it is to handle our emotions. They can really play you. All right, we continue on to say an emotion also, another trigger would be someone giving you a disapproving look. And I know this just reminds me of mothers, and a lot of us, maybe if you have strict mothers have a way of communicating without words. So you'll be doing something and just give you that look, and immediately that look just does, man, my mom is not happy with me, she's upset, or she will discipline me when we get home if you're visiting someone. And that look communicates something that makes you do, that brings out an emotion of fear, or if your mother is very tough, and such, or even your father. Or the other one is someone blaming you, or feeling ashamed. That also brings in it works as an emotional trigger. So in Sikati. So as we come into a conclusion, as we come to our conclusion, as we come to a conclusion, I would want to say that it is important to know how to manage our emotions. And one of the easiest ways to know how to manage your emotions, I've learned, when you're dealing with people, is learning to set boundaries. If you have boundaries with people, it is you're at a better position in how to manage your emotions, because you know. Service major. Yeah, yes, perfect. Mm. I hope not give the same energy. As we come to a conclusion, I'd want to say, and have, okay, my conclusion is long. So we don't become hostages of our own emotions. One of the things I've found out is very helpful is learning to set boundaries. One, remember we say that emotions can be triggered by people around us or situations. And so when it comes to human beings, because we are human beings and we will be interacting with other human beings, if you learn to manage your relationships or to set boundaries, it means that you're at a better position to manage your emotions. Why? Because we really receive so many things from the people around us, whether knowingly or unknowingly. And I think, I don't know if I mentioned it in a previous episode, where if you spend time around someone, you will pick some of their behavior patterns. So, and at times you can pick other things that have been projected from them, and they start manifesting in your life. If that person was upset, or and they tell you something and you immediately get upset, or if that person was happy, they get happy. But here I'm talking about those emotions that trigger negative responses or negative vibes in your life. Yeah, sijali. Niko na vitu mob kwa kichwa yangu. I don't know if these things are related. So do I pick this? Yes. As we come to a conclusion, I would like to say, because remember we mentioned that emotions can be triggered by people, and again, being human beings, we are always relating with people, we are always interacting with people. One of the things that I found to be very good is learn to set boundaries. Do not allow very many people to cross your boundaries. So keep keep your boundaries. Keep your boundaries with people, and learn who you can bring in, who needs to be kept at a distance, and all those things, just so you manage your emotions better and you live a healthy life. uh, so as we go on, in my very long conclusion, to succeed in life and to be able to maximize your potential and to manage your emotions, one of the things I learned, and which will be helpful, is that learn to be more confident without validation. That is very important. Learn to be confident without validation. Learn to be confident without validation. Learn to be confident without validation. A lot of us, yes, even, and this is just talking about children, we all want to be to that pat in your back, oh, this is very good. But at times, as you go on in life, it might never really come, or when it comes with a tag written to it. So you just want to learn how to live your life without expecting validation, and also and still delivering good. The other thing is, learn to replace your negative emotions with positive things in your mind. Talk about, you go through a bad experience. So learn to, as you're thinking about that experience, learn to replace those negative emotions with something positive. And it's all about how you communicate to yourself. Talk to yourself, talk positive things to yourself, uh, constantly, until you replace the negative thing with something positive. And because why I say this is because a lot of these negative emotions or negative things that we keep inside, they work as triggers. And if then they work as triggers, remember what I said, you can be somewhere and a song reminds you of something, whether positive or negative. And allow me to maybe go in the negative way. Say a song reminds you of a heartbreak, a song reminds you of a loss. If you continue to allowing that song or that thing to have that much power over you, you will self-sabotage. Say something good is about to happen in your life, and at the same instant when that good thing is about to happen, the negative trigger takes place. So that means you will self-sabotage, because the negative will outweigh the positive. But when you constantly learn to replace the negative with positive, continually, just trick your own brain. Just trick your own brain. As the Bible says, think on things that are positive, think on things that are good, think on things that are ethical. So constantly keep your brain fed with positive stuff, with positive things, positive affirmation. Someone told you you're not beautiful, continually tell yourself, I'm beautiful, I'm made in the image and likeness of God, I'm beautiful. Someone told you you're not worthy, continue to tell you, affirm yourself, tell yourself I'm beautiful. Look at yourself in the mirror and affirm yourself, say positive things. Say it in the morning, say it in the noontime, say it in the evening. Make it like how doctors prescribe 3 times a day. So continue affirming yourself. Look at yourself in the mirror and affirm yourself. That is some of the ways you can be able to remove the garbage, that is the garbage, the negative things that you've been told. Feeding your mind with positive stuff. That is one way of removing or short-circuiting the negative triggers. You have to use positive. And they say, one of the things they say is that to unlearn something, you have to do it continually for 21 days. So from now, count for 21 days. Every morning, say, I'm beautiful, I'm good, I'm wonderful, I'm prosperous, I'm going to succeed, I'm accepted, I'm favored, I'm loved. Continue doing that every day, every day, every day, every day for 21 days. And once you form it, it becomes a habit. Every morning you will find that for the rest of your life, when you look at yourself in the mirror, you speak positive stuff. That will help you building some positivity inside you, and you're stable. Because then remember where the first point where I said being confident without validation, so that also feeds into that. Okay, the other thing is important, learning to narrow your circle of friends. Remember when I said people work as triggers. So if you narrow your circle of friends and you bring in closer people that add value to you. People don't have people that divide you, have people that add value to your life. A friend says she moves away from people she feels, after I've spent time with you, I feel drained. She will not spend her time with such people. So it is good for us to constantly surround ourselves with people that add positive stuff in us. They build you, they encourage you. As much as I say, be confident be confident without having always to look for affirmation. But it is very important to also surround yourself with people that are positive, people that give you good vibes around them, and you pick good energy from them. And maybe that's why they say, if you walk with 5 broke people, you'll be the fifth one. Or if you walk with 5 millionaires, you'll be the sixth one, sorry. So that means the people you surround yourself with matter a lot in your emotions. Then the other thing is mhm, yes, learn to constantly forgive yourself. Yes, learn to forgive yourself. If you did something wrong, you messed up, learn to forgive yourself. Again, the other thing that I found I've found, or I've discovered a lot about a lot of us, is that we take ourselves too seriously, and we are often upset when we do mistakes because we think we should have known better. But at times you discover the decision you made was informed by the information that you had at that given time. So because of the information you had at that given time, that was the best decision you would have made, or that was the best decision you made, everything, putting into account everything that was going on around you. So then later in life, when you become more informed, or your environment changes, then you discover, oh my god, I was so foolish, why did I do that? And you hold yourself, and you're upset with yourself, and you find you're saying, oh, I'm so stupid, and all those things. So learn to forgive yourself, learn to forgive yourself, learn to let go of things that maybe you have no control over. Or like I said, when you made that decision you made with the information you had, that was the best decision that you could have made by that time. Even if it meant you lost something, forgive yourself and move on. And do not allow those things to settle or to bring you down. Every time you want to move on, that thought of, oh, I did ABCD, it didn't succeed, so that becomes something that ties you, and you can't move forward. So learn to forgive yourself, learn to break those negative shackles that want to lay your mind hostage, or to keep your mind at hostage, or to kidnap your mind. So as you go on in life, these things will happen. And every other day, even as we are reading in Ephesians 6 verses 26, Ephesians 4 verses 26, sorry, and where it said, be angry but sin not, do not let the sun go down in your anger. So every day, I believe it is important, as you get to the end of your day, sit down and evaluate yourself. Say, say you came across someone and maybe you responded harshly. You just want to find out, what was I thinking, what was going on in the inside, why did I do this particular thing, what could have worked as a trigger. So once you start identifying your triggers, you're able to then to handle them and to move forward, or to move away, or to make that trigger lose the kind of hold or power it has on you. This has to be something that you do consciously. So I always want to advise, at the end of the day, sit down and evaluate your day. Evaluate your day. Evaluate your day. Look at the conversations you had during the day. Is it a conversation with your husband or your wife or your colleagues at work or people in church or your children, and someone did something and you just responded very harshly, and it didn't warrant that kind of response. So sit back and think, why did this happen? Why did I respond like this? Will there be something that is underlying that I need to deal with? So when you do that and you're able to identify the culprit, then you're able to deal with it. So this way, instead of dealing with the symptoms, you deal with the root. And it is very important, even as you want to live healthy lives, to learn to know what triggers certain things and why we behave in a certain manner. When you do that, you'll be able to live a whole life. You'll be able to have better relationships. You'll be able to understand yourself better, and you'll be able to know what to keep off or what to do when this happens. So if say you're angry, when the Bible says be angry but sin not, I know when the person says this, I know I can begin to feel in the inside of me, I think this conversation is not going very well. You can just tell that person, stop, stop, let's stop there. And then walk away. Simply just walk away. Is it a husband and wife, you're beginning to argue, a conversation is slowly turning into an argument, and emotions are going high, just breathe in and just say, give me 1 minute, open the door, go for a walk. And that is very important. Why I say this is because so many people are in prison today. So many marriages have ended today because of this thing called emotions, and not being able to manage our emotions better. So someone is angry and they pick a cup or something that is close to them and hit a person. That person becomes sick. They get jailed, or that person dies. They get jailed. And then you regret, and then it brings in another feeling of remorse, where you're now upset with yourself because you overreacted. So it is very important to learn to manage our emotions for better living and better relationships around us, and even to better handle our lives. Again, some other people get angry, and then they have a heart condition, and you get hospitalized. Well, it is something that you can have been able to manage if you are in better control of your emotions. Then the other thing, remember the study I said, where our emotions are related to our immunity. A lot of people are sick today, and if they managed their emotions, if they learned to manage their emotions, they would get well. So learn to laugh, just laugh, find things that are funny and laugh. And then learn healthy ways of managing your emotions. Like I said, if you're angry, or a conversation, you're in a conversation and you feel you're getting angry, just stop the conversation. Tell that person, okay, stop right there, and walk out. And then find a better environment, or a better way of communicating what you're feeling. Another thing that is said is that a lot of impulse buying happens to us when our emotions are high. So learn to monitor your emotions, so that you don't buy stuff that you don't necessarily need. Oh yes, another one that is good to note: don't shop when you're hungry. When you're hungry and you go shopping, you will buy a lot of unnecessary stuff. So you see, everything is connected to our emotions. And that is why, for you and me to live better lives and to live holistic lives, we need to manage our emotions. I pray that this is helpful to someone, and it's an encouragement, and helps you live a better life. And there's so much we can learn about our emotions. And I pray that this blesses you and keeps you strong. So until next time, see you and God bless you.